Yakshimash, so you want to see the Holy Grail? You are SMMA? Bro, I want you to know that I've been in these buildings. I've been around these people that have this and this. And if that's what you want, then all the best to you. Okay? I want you to have that. But I also want you to know some of the experiences that I had while being around this kind of wealth, being around people that have this kind of money. And it's not like it's all it's made out to seem. And I just bear with me for a second over here, right? For the longest time, I was growing my SMMA because I had an idea of what someone that makes money should have. And I genuinely thought that it was to have some of these things, right? The Ferrari, I don't even know if it's like Bentley or Rolls Royce, and basically be on a red carpet and basically, truthfully, man, be like a god living amongst mortals, right? And that's what happens, is that as we see more success in SMMA, right, as we get a little bit more wealth, maybe get a little bit more money, whatever you want to call this, there's like a decrease in God conscious. What ends up happening in God conscious is that we somehow start seeing ourselves as gods. And this is what happened to me, right? I mean, as I grew my agency to multi-seven figures and I started really getting greedy and looking for a multi-million-dollar exit, I wanted to basically be financially set by the age of 30. I wanted to say, hey, you know what? I built the agency, grew the agency, sold the agency. Now I can just freaking invest in crypto full-time, and I can just be this person that's, got it all. Beautiful wife, beautiful kids, travels the world, has a nice car, has everything. And that's a dream that was implanted into me. And it was only when I almost lost everything that I realized, okay, this is really a pipe dream. Not that you can't do it. Again, look, I'm not saying that you can't do it, but the closer and closer I got to this, I'm not going to stand over here and say I got to like mega millionaire status or anything. I mean, I'm a regular guy, but at the same time, I mean, I was able to do things at, my age of 28 that my dad was not doing at 28, that I know my ancestors weren't doing at 28. So from that standpoint, yeah, maybe in some ways I was in a state where I was mega rich, right, mega successful. But, ultimately I was in a place where I was losing hair, losing sleep, almost lost my relationship, wasn't seeing my kid, I wasn't praying. It's just a weird situation to be in, man. It's like, as we grow our agencies, we become more heedless. And the one thing I don't want you to become heedless of is your family. This is really truly where it's at. It's not as extravagant and glamorous as it may seem. I mean, this isn't business class or first class. We usually fly in economy, but we go to places for a long period of time and we have fun over there. And what I like spending is my time. What I like spending is my money on my kids, with my family. And, if you have a family and you're watching this right now, man, I want you to know that there's no amount of this that's going to replace this. Okay, this is very, very precious. And there are people out there that are unable to have kids, they don't have any kids, and they're praying. They're praying to God. Please, God, give me kids. There are people out there that have a tenth of what you make, maybe even a 100th of what you make, depending on what kind of a agency you've scaled to. I know in my case, there's people that were making very, very less than I was, but I was more ungrateful. And so in many ways, what I want this video to be about is really a reminder to myself that there's a lot that we could be grateful for. And the Holy Grail really is being able to see what we already have and being content within that. And yes, striving for better, for more, but intention is everything, right? Intention. That's something we can write down over here. Intention. Alright, if the intention is bitches and money and freaking partying and looking like a G, like straight up trying to be a god, this is going to be a very, very, very slow, long, arduous, and a dissatisfying journey. I mean, if you haven't scaled past 100, 200K by now, it might be why. Because you're all after this. It's thinking that this is where your salvation lies, that if you could only just be able to rent rooms in hotels like these for $2,000, $3,000 a night. Okay, cool. You'll do it once. Meh. That's very nice. to look at and to be in probably, but you can't take that to the grave. I can't take that to the grave. And what I will take to the grave is my deeds and what I did in the world and how I treated my wife, my kids, how I treated people, and was I a great provider for them? And when I say provider, right, don't get it twisted. I'm not talking about being a breadwinner. Okay, this is not what I'm talking about. This is different. Okay, a breadwinner is someone that just makes money and pays the bills. A provider provides his time, yes, his money, but his presence as well. He guides his family. He's like a king to his family. He's like a steward for his family. He's someone that nurtures them. He teaches them. He is more than just someone that makes money. And I realized that I don't want to be a breadwinner anymore. I want to be a provider. And so a big part of being a provider had really involved me having to look at myself, within myself, and see what it was that made me want to be all of this. And if I'm being frank with you, what I really wanted, beyond just trying to be a god, was like, I wanted approval. Right? The approval of maybe women, like wanted the approval of my parents, wanted the approval of my peers, wanted to prove that I am someone. And man, if this resonates with you, then I hope you're able to make a change. Reach out to me if you need anything. I'll see you guys in the comments.